Sorry, let me just sort out my windows here so I can see everything that's going on. So yeah, early game, you won't make much money. I would say by the 1600s is really the era when wealth starts to flourish. A little bit earlier for some states like Mamluks, as we've seen. There are different sources. So if you're playing as Castile, your main source of money is going to be colonization. So early on you'll be very poor because you'll be spending all your money. But you'll want to get exploration ideas fairly soon. You want to get expansion ideas fairly soon. And then just start building colonies everywhere. And those colonies by the 1700s will start to pay off big time. Especially if you get the Caribbean and Mexico. If you're playing as France, it's kind of the same thing. Except
Mordred?
Yeah.
I just have one thing to say. For Varna.
What was that?
For Varna?
I have no idea what that is.
That was the battle where the Commonwealth lost their
Varna,
key over Hungary,
sorry.
and they died.
Yeah.
So, in other words, say hello to my little friend, Ottomans.
Interesting. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. We've just been promised a war. Okay, cool. So, sorry, I'm having a massive coughing fit right now. My throat is going... So here it is, Blue Flames. We have got the Commonwealth who have declared war on the Ottomans. The Ottomans are joined by the Mamluks. It's going to be the Commonwealth, Austria, and the Timurids versus the Ottomans. So if we go to the player map mode, I'm going to assume that the trade league, or the league war has ended. It hasn't. They're fighting this at the same time. Crazy. But as we know, the Mamluks have been funding the Ottomans, and they've been funding them pretty heavily. So I'm going to be very curious to see Ottoman quality with their level 3 general against the Commonwealth quality. Let's actually do a quick comparison. I'll keep an eye on this. So the Janissaries have 30% infantry against the Commonwealth 40. Commonwealth is actually down to 68% cavalry combat against 25 on the Ottomans. And then 10% artillery against 10% artillery. So the sides are actually relatively close. The Ottomans are lagging a little bit behind in terms of infantry combat, but that is made up by the fact that they have Sakban infantry, aka Janissaries, which have a fire damage received bonus and a shock damage received bonus. Also, I'm kind of curious. The Commonwealth have a fair number of cavalry, but not a huge amount. And also, of course, the Ottomans are going to be earning tons and tons of cash. I wonder how the Mamluk armies are shaping up in comparison. Don't go too far. So the Mamelukes have got a tiny cavalry modifier, so they're not going to do very much. They really do want to just spend this war bolstering Ottoman forces. They probably want to do the sieges rather than the Ottomans to conserve as much Ottoman manpower as possible. There is 66,000 manpower against Commonwealth 45, so the Commonwealth is coming into this with less. So far it's very defensive. Have any forts fallen? One fort has fallen. And here we go, 80,000 marching in. Ottomans a little bit slow to react. They're on a -1. I think this stack is going to get wiped before these guys arrive, which now means the Ottomans are attacking. That was actually very poorly coordinated. And that's 2 stack wipes in a row. Ottomans are in trouble. Because that's basically the bulk of the Ottoman army. Dead. Who do I think will win? Based on that, Commonwealth. I really wish I could see what the numbers were. Because the Ottomans just lost 60,000 in a blink of an eye. So the manpower difference between them has just been lost. So I think a large portion of this is going to be down to Ottoman naval power. So the next thing I want to double check is to see what the navies are like, because there is no way that the Commonwealth can get through here. They can take down the Crimea. Karakanulu is an Ottoman ally. Are they in this war? They are in the war. So actually, yes, the Commonwealth can get through here. But the most obvious crossing is going to be Constantinople. And if the Ottomans can maintain that crossing, then it's going to be a lot harder for the Commonwealth to get through, because all of this is mountains. And that's going to give the Ottomans a bit of time to rebuild their forces. Ottomans don't seem to be too happy about losing 60k that fast. I don't think I would be either. For turn. Where's turn? Ethiopia? Yeah, that's Ethiopia. I really wish I could like zoom out and click on stuff during this screen. It's really annoying that it locks everything else out. Why is it paused? Because we have a player loading in. And it locks everything else. Otherwise I'd be able to scroll around and talk about stuff. So how are you doing at the moment, chat? Everyone well? I don't even know how many people are watching.
Do you like that, Mordred? 56,000 stat wipes in the first two.
I saw that.
He's like, what the hell?
It's because he was arriving 15,000 at a time.
So, yeah. He's not too happy with me right now.
Are you surprised?
Well, he shouldn't have killed my ruler. You know, I had to take 150 years to reestablish everything.
150 years, but you are kind of strong now.
Yeah, so, yeah, Teardrop's back, almost back in. I think he was the last one we were waiting on. So okay, once he's in, then we should be good.
Alright, jolly good. Darkfighter is saying I'll just have to colonize Russia quicker. Who's Darkfighter playing as? Timmy. Yeah, so there is definitely some conflict brewing between Timurids and the Ottomans. Although Timurids are on the Commonwealth, Timurids in the Commonwealth. But Timurids are on the Commonwealth side in this war. Poland is far from lost. Obviously, it was Poland that just did the stack wiping. It's the Ottomans who are in trouble. But I want to click on the Ottomans because I want to see how much, if they have any other troops left. And I want to see the naval comparison. Why is this taking so long? Here we go. Nope. Yes, maybe. There we go. Alright, so, naval comparison, finally. These guys have no navy. Because the Mamluks control the trades. The Mamluks could... interesting. The Mamluks could actually start, for example, privateering. Or even just blockading the Commonwealth. They would need to get military access or docking rights from Andalusia, but it could be done. Particularly because Andalusia is actually fighting against these guys right now. Also, the Ottomans have a lot more galleys than these guys, so naval-wise they could win. But on land, it's going to be a very tough ask. And their opponents don't have much of a coastline, so it's going to be very limited to the impact of those blockades. War against Brunswick is basically done. They really are just waiting for war enthusiasm to go down. It's on 0, so in a month or two they'll be able to piece that one out. Army sizes. I mean, the Ottomans still have 122,000 infantry on their side. They did just lose 84,000 against 36, but... you're getting caught out again, although this is Novgorod marching in. No general. That's another stack wipe. Ottomans at this point just need to back off. Back right off. There we go, they retreated. Good move. The Mameluke fleet is here blocking the straits, so they can't get across. Adine has fallen already. It doesn't look like these forts have been upgraded at all. Although I don't actually know what fort limit is right now. How do we see that? That would be under technology. Actually, I wonder if we can just go to the build panel. No. I know how we can see. In here! Fort level is currently bastions. They could go up to level 5 forts at this point. But obviously they haven't done so yet. So the Ottomans still have the... No, the Mamelukes are the bulk of the forces at this point. I'm wondering if the Ottomans can make a deal with the Timurids to get them out of the fight. Although the Timurids are probably after Karakanulu. So what should probably happen is the Mamelukes fight against the Timurids, knock the Timurids out if they can, while just holding the coast here. They can't deal with the Timurids coming through this way, because that means it's going to be virtually impossible to block the mountains. Peace deals already coming in from the Ottomans. Really offering all of that? That's a lot of aggressive expansion, however. Since the Commonwealth has almost the entire Jagiellonian Empire, it might be wise for everybody to gang up on them soon to cut them down to size. I suspect that that might already be in the works. Muscovy are at war. Wait, why Muscovy at war? Muscovy are fighting against Denmark. Oh, that's Great Horde. Sorry, Crimea is fighting against the Great Horde, which I guess is... yeah, Commonwealth vassal. And then Denmark is currently attacking Muscovy, Sukhov, Yaroslavl, and Rostov. So Denmark's trying to secure these territories, basically before the Commonwealth does. I wonder if any of the other powers are going to do anything about this. Are Austria in this war? Yeah. Austria and the Commonwealth have a very strong alliance in much the same way as Prussia does. Although it looks like Prussia have broken their alliance with the Commonwealth. They aren't allied. So after Prussia was allowed to form Prussia, it looks like relations between these two have just separated. So you've got your navy sitting there. I think I'd be a little bit more proactive with the fleet. Though you already have that blockaded. The Danes are doing a lot of privateering right now. I'm not entirely convinced that that's the right move. Because while you're privateering, you're not earning naval tradition. Commonwealth are doing very well financially. How are the Ottomans doing? The Ottomans obviously are raking in the cash. Are they actually rebuilding their army? They are building a couple of units, but I'm not seeing a lot of stuff in production. Yeah, they're not even trying. Meanwhile, the Mamelukes are currently going after Hormuz. This was poorly timed. And the Mamelukes are indeed going after the Timurids, so this is exactly what I was hoping would happen. We've got a fight going on here. This is in the mountains. This is against the Mamelukes. This is the Mamelukes attacking into the Timurids. They are reinforcing heavily, but this is a -3. This is a fight you don't want to fight. Back off. Although they are winning. They have got more morale, they do have more military tactics, and they have a lot more discipline. The Mamluks' army is not to be underestimated, clearly. Mamluks won. Never mind. Ignore what I was just saying. Oh, and they were saving the siege. Right, okay, fair enough. So the Timurids right now are military tech 13, as are the Mamelukes. Commonwealth are miltech 14. And how big one is it? Actually, 14 is not huge, just means that your infantry is a little bit better. Commonwealth sending in peace deals. Demanding a lot of Crimea. See, this is a decent deal. This is the Commonwealth saying, I want mostly your money. I don't actually want to weaken you too much. And the Mamelukes can probably fit that bill and repay the debt. Are the Ottomans getting stab hit, or what was that sound? I don't think so. Although that was a pretty generous peace deal, so maybe. No, they can't stab it because they don't have 50% war score yet. Meanwhile, Bohemia is still going after Andalusia, so apparently... No, League War's over. So who's Andalusia fighting? Andalusia... Oh, is on the Ottoman side in this war. So the Andalusians were called in late. Well, that just means that this side have gotten to have overwhelming naval superiority. 59 galleys, 7 heavies. Andalusia is in a position to do some damage up here. Now, bear in mind, Andalusia is a protected nation, so the Commonwealth cannot take Gotland even if they wanted to. I mean, they can occupy it, they just can't take it in a peace deal. And that's it, war's over. So what changed? I think the Ottomans just accepted that deal. Albania grew. So they lost 4 provinces over here. And... that's it. Ottomans got off very lucky there. Except reputation. Ottoman reputation is now in tatters after that defeat. So what was already looking like a very, very shaky power is basically being confirmed. So the vultures will start circling now, I suspect. Can I see the exact peace deal? No, unfortunately. I don't get a log at all, so I can't see it. So where are the Commonwealth going to go next? I think they'll want to finish off Muscovy. How long's the truce? That's going to be a long truce. 72. So yeah, they've still got another 9 years in that truce. Ooh, Theodora's back. Released from Crimea, maybe. Mamluks should look into getting an alliance against the Ottomans. At the moment, the Mamluks are trying to beef up the Ottomans so that they act as a buffer against the Commonwealth. I think that is the right play. The Mamluks have the cash, but they don't really have the military power to do much. The Ottomans do, they just played that war poorly. I mean, it was kind of unfortunate that initial clash went so badly. I don't think I would have pieced out quite so easily, considering they still have 73,000 manpower. And the Commonwealth are down to 38. They could still have continued fighting that. They just needed to rebuild their armies and then play it a lot more safely. Especially provoke the Commonwealth into attacking across the mountains, prolong the war, use the Andalusian fleet to blockade the Commonwealth coast. Although, how much does the Commonwealth actually generate through trade? 11 ducats. That's half their surplus. Although you'd never be able to get all of it. Plus the devastation it would do to their coastline, and the war exhaustion damage. And the Commonwealth, I believe, don't have... oh no, they do have initiative. So war exhaustion isn't really going to be a tool you can use against them. So that makes blockades a lot less effective. Why did the Commonwealth not take Mordred and the Ottomans make a peace deal that could have given them all of Greece? I think that the Commonwealth is aware how strong they look right now, and they're trying not to antagonize too many other players. Because a player coalition could still take them down. Like, if they look too scary, then Austria and Prussia are both going to start thinking, is this really a good idea? And then also some of the colonial powers, like Ireland and Holland, which the Commonwealth would struggle to kill. I mean, they could do Holland, but they would struggle to kill, say, Portugal, Ireland, Andalusia, simply because they would have to cross the ocean. And then these guys can just blockade and wait. And fight hit-and-run guerrilla wars, especially Portugal. Like, if Portugal has their flagship, which I don't think they do,